Hello everyone, it's Dale here with cryptocurrency video commentary. In this video I'll go through the main cryptocurrencies and I'll analyze them from the higher time frame perspective, and my analysis will be based mainly on the volume profile, which is a tool which tracks the big institutions or the banks who trade those cryptocurrencies and who move and manipulate the markets. So let's get to it, and let's start with Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin is the biggest cryptocurrency as far as market capitalization is concerned. So let's start with Bitcoin. Before you can see a daily chart of the Bitcoin, and there are three pretty strong volume-based zones on the Bitcoin right now. As you can see, there was another crash of the Bitcoin, and before the crash there were pretty heavy volumes accumulated. Those volumes that you can see right there on the histogram were accumulated throughout this whole rotation area, alright? This is sort of triangular formation, but what is most important for me is those volumes which got accumulated in this area. Because after this volume accumulation, a really strong sell-off started. And what this means is that those volumes were volumes of strong sellers who were accumulating their selling positions there in this area, and afterwards they started this strong sell-off. So this is currently a strong resistance zone. It is around 6,400, as you can see right there, and I think that when the price returns back to this area, those strong sellers will be defending their selling positions and they'll push the price downwards. So this is a strong resistance zone. There is also another confirmation of the volume-based setup. It's the support becoming a resistance setup. As you can see, the price reacted pretty nicely to this level before, so it was a strong support, and when the price went past the support, it then became a resistance. Alright, so currently it is a resistance. So we have price action setup, support becoming a resistance, and we also have volume setup. So this is the resistance on the Bitcoin. This is definitely the strongest resistance in this whole area. And if you look into some supports on the Bitcoin, then there are actually two volume-based supports. The first one is right there. I draw a line there, and the line is at 4,400. So this is the heaviest volumes within this uptrend, and volumes within uptrend means that strong buyers were adding to their buying positions and pushing the price upwards from those volumes. So currently the price is a little bit below the level. Actually, it's rotating below the level. It didn't really respect it. So right now two things can happen. Either there could be strong rejection of lower prices, which would mean that support worked in the end, but what I think is more likely is that this support got actually breached and the price is rotating below it, which confirms that the support was breached and that the sell-off will continue. Alright, and right there is a really strong support based on those massive volumes which got accumulated before the start of this crazy upwards movement. And those buyers who accumulated their buying positions there and who pushed the price upwards will be defending their buying positions, and from this place where they accumulated most of their volumes, they should push the price aggressively upwards. So currently this is the strongest support that I see on the Bitcoin. So let's just wait how this support works, but I think that it's already breached and that the price will go into a sell-off and it will reach the second support, which is at 2,550 or around 2,550, and I think that the price will react pretty strongly to this support and that buyers will take over, and there could be a trend change at this price level. Alright, so those are the strongest volume-based zones on the Bitcoin currently. So let's move on and let's have a look at the Ripple. So this is the ripple on a weekly chart, which means that one candle is 1 week. And if you look at the volume histogram, then you can see that the strongest and heaviest volumes got accumulated in this rotation before the start of this crazy upwards movement of this strong uptrend. Right now you can see that the price is heading back to this area. This area is somewhere between 0.2 to 0.25. So this is the area marked with those two lines. Alright, this is a strong support area. And why is it a strong support area? Because of those volumes. Strong buyers were adding to their buying positions there in this whole rotation. Afterwards, they started this crazy buying activity, and then the price went downwards. But currently, the price is heading back to this strong support when those strong buyers were adding to their buying positions. So what will those buyers do in order to defend their buying positions? They'll start aggressively buying to push the price upwards again, to push their positions into profit again. Alright, so this is currently strong support, and I think that sooner or later those buyers will start aggressive buying again, and they'll push the price upwards again. Let's now go into the Litecoin. This is a daily chart of the Litecoin. And as you probably know, all the cryptocurrencies are pretty heavily correlated, so there is no surprise that if there is a sell-off on Bitcoin, there will also be a sell-off on Ethereum or on the Litecoin, alright? So there is another downtrend, this time on the Litecoin. And let me now go through the strongest resistance zones that are in this current downtrend, alright? So the first strong resistance zone is right there. It's around the $55 mark, and as you can see on the histogram, there were pretty massive volumes accumulated in this price rotation, and those volumes are most likely volumes of strong sellers who are adding to their selling positions there, and afterwards they pushed the price even lower. So when the price makes it back to this level, I think that those strong sellers will defend their selling positions which they accumulated there, and they'll push the price downwards. So this was the first resistance. The second one is right there around the $83 mark, and this resistance is based on the setup which I call the trend setup. When there is a trend, I look for significant volume clusters within the trend. Alright, and this is pretty significant volume cluster which got accumulated within this downtrend. So those volumes you can see there got accumulated in this price action range, alright? And this is the place where the heaviest volumes within this range got accumulated. So I think that the sellers who are adding to their selling positions there in this area placed most of their selling positions right there where the volume profile is the thickest. So when there is a pullback to this level, I think that those sellers will be defending their selling positions and they'll push the price downwards. Alright, so this is the second resistance zone that I can see on the Litecoin. And the third one is right there around the $118 mark. And it is based also on the volume cluster within the trend. So it's also based on the trend setup. There is the volume cluster, this is the trend, those are the heaviest volumes within the volume cluster. So the logic is the same. I think that when the price makes it back to this level, sellers who are adding to their selling positions there will be defending their selling positions and they'll push the price downwards from this area. There's also confirmation of this short level. It is the support becoming a resistance setup, which I already mentioned. You can see that the price is bouncing off this general area, which means that it was a strong support, and when the price finally went through the support, it became a resistance. So we have support becoming a resistance setup, and we also have the trend setup, which is based on those volumes. The fourth resistance zone is pretty distant, but as you can see, sometimes the volatility on the cryptocurrencies could be pretty heavy, so I think that I better mention it even though it's pretty distant. The resistance is around the $216 mark, and it's based on those heavy volumes, and those volumes got accumulated within strong rejection of higher prices. As you can see, the price went upwards and suddenly it changed direction and went into a strong sell-off. This is what I call strong rejection of higher prices, alright? And in my trading, I look for heavy volumes which got accumulated within the strong rejection. And in this case, it is this volume cluster which got accumulated in the rejection. And what this means is that strong sellers who rejected the higher prices were adding to their selling positions there in this area. Those are their positions. And then, as you can see, they pushed the Litecoin into strong sell-off. So when the price makes it back to this level, those really aggressive sellers will most likely be defending their selling positions, which are right there, and they'll push the price downwards. So this was the fourth resistance on the Litecoin. And you're also probably interested where the sell-off of the Litecoin could actually stop. So let's move back a little bit. And if you look at this cumulative profile of this whole area, then you can see that the heaviest volumes are right there, which is at the $12 mark. Alright, so this means that heavy volumes got accumulated there. From there, the strong buying activity started. So probably strong buyers were adding in this place into their positions. And when the price makes it back to this level, those buyers are likely to defend their positions and push the price upwards. This is the strong support that I currently see on the Litecoin. Apart from that, there is also this volume cluster right there, which is exactly at the current price level. Alright, so we are currently at the strong support. It's not as strong as this one, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't work. So actually I wouldn't be really surprised if the Litecoin turned right now into a trend reversal. Let's now go into Ethereum. Before you can see a daily chart. And now I'm going to show you the strongest volume-based resistance zones that are on the Ethereum. Alright, so the first one is around the $200 mark. It's based on those heavy volumes which got accumulated throughout this rotation. Afterwards you can see strong selling activity, which indicates that those volumes were volumes of strong sellers. So when the price makes it back to this level, I think that those sellers will defend their positions and they'll push the price downwards. The second resistance is right there around 285. It's based on the volume cluster. This is the volume cluster. Volumes got accumulated within this price action range. This is the trend setup I already mentioned. So when there is a pullback to this level, those sellers who added to their selling positions are likely to start selling again and to push the price downwards again. The third resistance I have is this one around 465, and it is based on those heavy volumes which got accumulated throughout this rotation. As you can see, after this volume accumulation area, strong sell-off started, right? This is the start of the strong sell-off. So I think that those volumes are volumes of strong sellers who were accumulating their positions there. Afterwards they started renewed selling activity and they pushed the price downwards. So when the price makes it back to this level again, I think that those sellers will be defending their selling positions and they'll push the price downwards again. The last chart I'll analyze in this video will be the EOS, and again there was a strong sell-off, so again I'll be looking for strong volume clusters within the sell-off to place short levels from. So the first resistance in a row is around the $5 mark. It's based on those heavy volumes which got accumulated throughout this whole rotation. After this rotation, you can see that strong sell-off started. There was a renewed selling activity, and that's why I think that those volumes were volumes of strong sellers. All right, so when the price makes it back to this level again, I think that those sellers will defend their selling positions and they'll push the price downwards. The second resistance zone is right there at the $8 mark. It's based on those volumes at this volume cluster which got accumulated throughout this price action rotation. All right, so the logic is the same. I think that those volumes were volumes of strong sellers, and when the price makes it back to this level again, I think that those sellers will defend their selling positions, and from this place they'll push the price downwards. Another strong resistance is right there at the 10.5 mark, and this is based on this volume cluster, volumes which got accumulated in this area, and also there is a support becoming a resistance setup which I talk about. This is a strong rejection of low prices, which indicates that this was a strong support. When the price went past the support became a resistance. So currently this is a strong resistance from the price action point of view, and from the volume based point of view this is also a resistance, because there was a strong volume cluster made by strong sellers who are pushing the price downwards. So when the price makes it back to this level again, I think that there is a really high chance that those sellers will be defending their selling positions and they'll push the price downwards again. Another strong resistance is right there at the $14 mark. You can see those heavy volumes, and part of those heavy volumes got accumulated throughout the rejection of higher prices. This is a setup I already talked about. Heavy volumes accumulated within strong and aggressive rejection of higher prices. This rejection means aggressivity of strong sellers, and heavy volumes within the aggressive rejection means that the sellers placed most of their selling positions there. So this is a strong resistance zone. When the price makes it back to this zone again, those sellers will be defending those selling positions and they'll push the price downwards. The last resistance zone is based also on the rejection setup. This is a really strong rejection of higher prices. This is the level, it's around 17.5, and the volume cluster within this strong rejection is right there. The heaviest volumes within the rejection got accumulated right there at this level. So when the price makes it back, this will be really strong resistance zone, and I think that those sellers who rejected higher prices will be defending their selling positions there and they'll push the price downwards again. So that's about it, guys. That's all about the volume based levels on cryptocurrencies. I hope you like them. As you can see, the volume profile is a very versatile tool. You can use it for swing trades, for intraday trades, for long-term trades. You can use it on many markets like cryptocurrencies or forex or futures. It doesn't really matter, because a volume profile is very versatile and a very effective way to analyze any market on any time frame. So if you would like to learn more about trading with the volume profile, just visit my webpage. There's a lot of articles or videos. Or if you really want to learn and make a great progress with your trading, then the best option for you is definitely joining my trading course. So I'll be really happy if you join us and if you decide to trade with us every day. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the members area or in some next video which I'll make. And until then, happy trading.